You can see the trade on that one. All right, turning now to the power of money, Wall Street is holding its breath as SAC Capital braces for maybe billions in redemptions. It is living under a cloud of insider trading suspicion courtesy of the feds. There is one catch, though. Neither SAC nor its head, Steve Cohen, have actually been charged with anything criminal. Still, if customers pull their cash, SAC could be forced out of business based on suspicion alone. Our own Charlie Gasparino is one of Wall Street's most knowledgeable observers. He has been following the SAC case from the beginning. He's also written a new book, Circle of Friends, all about the slew of Fed crackdowns and insider trading networks. We also have Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News' senior judicial analyst. He's also here. Nice to have both of you. Charlie, I want to start with you because you've been breaking news on this.
How do you like those hairlines? We look. It's
fantastic. Fantastic. You've been breaking news on this.
Right.
What's going on with the redemptions?
As we were talking, over the last couple of days on your earlier show, that there was a chance of them going to a family office. What they're saying right now, that means they just give back the customer money. They manage their own money. Steve Cohen's own fortune. They're saying that's not going to happen. No plans to do that right now, but they'll leave it open the door to do it in the future. They will not release the redemption notices or how much the redemption tallies. But what sources are telling the Fox Business Network, we believe this number is significant. It's probably leaving SAC Capital, by my estimates, and like I said, these are estimates right now. We're not getting any word from inside the company, with about $1 billion or less of outside customer money. So it's essentially still a huge hedge fund, right? $9 billion of company money, of Steve Cohen's fortune and some of the traders, $1 billion or so, or less than $1 billion of outside cash, but still a lot less than the $15
That's a big
billion.
Change.
And by the way, you know what that means? That means they have to, they're saying there's no plans for layoffs, but they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to scale back because that additional, all that outside money, they used to charge fees on that. They can't do that anymore.
Enormous fees. Judge, I mean, the question that Charlie's been raising all week, that is such a valid one, is this unfair? I mean, the government is essentially bullying them out of business, and so far, they haven't charged them. I'm thinking Arthur Andersen.
Well, as Charlie points out in his terrific piece in this morning's New York Post, excuse me, Charlie, the government doesn't care if it's unfair, in part because the Congress has immunized from liability the people in the Justice Department who are scaring away Steve Cohen's clients. Look, when Arthur Andersen went under, the corporation was indicted. The corporation pleaded guilty. It paid a measly $500,000 fine, and it went out of business. Going out of business put 85,000 innocent human beings out of work. The guilty plea was then reversed by an appellate court, but there was no Arthur Andersen left after the reversal, nor was there anybody for those who lost money, who lost jobs, who lost wealth to sue, because Justice Department prosecutors and FBI investigators are immune from the consequences of their behavior. So are they trying to put Steve Cohen out of business? They don't have to answer.
Well,
Will the effect of this be to put Steve Cohen out of business? Charlie could answer the question better than I. But if they do put him out of business, there is nobody for him to sue.
You're right about that. We should just back up and just give the Justice Department side of the story. They believe that there's been, illegal activity at this company. We should point out that they've been investigating SAC Capital and Cohen since at least 2007. I point this out in my book, Circle of Friends. This has been going on for years. Now, have they hit any home runs in terms of finding wrongdoing at the firm? Yeah. I mean, they've indicted at least 2 major portfolio managers. There's a slew of others that have either been indicted or cooperating, to get leniency. So there's more than just a little smoke there. Now, but the real question is the sort of bad stuff you're seeing, is it systemic? Does it mean the whole company is bad? And does it mean that Steve Cohen himself, whose phone has been tapped, is he a criminal? And I will say this, okay? If they got something on him, he's clearly under investigation, it's about time they either charge him or leave him alone. Because what they've been doing with this constant drumbeat of subpoenas, the guy just got a grand jury subpoena right around the time of this redemption date.
Should we know about that, by the way? Was that leaked from somewhere?
That's
a great
we should
point,
not
right?
know about it. Yes, because the federal rules of criminal procedure make it a crime for someone in the Justice Department.
Right.
Judge,
who knows about this to leak it?
Judge, we don't have to be conspiracy theorists. Why do you think it was leaked?
I think that it probably was leaked in order to weaken and damage Steve Cohen. Look, at some point in this scenario, the Justice Department investigating SAC, SAC was cooperating, giving the DOJ everything they wanted.
Absolutely.
At some point, Steve Cohen said, enough is enough. 2 days later, these grand jury subpoenas showed up. So if something is going to happen, I think it's going to be pretty soon.
But it hasn't happened before redemptions were due. And Charlie,
No.
you have made the point that that was one of the points all along.
I would just say this. If you're the government, now the government would say, the wheels of justice turn slow. We're looking to turn a couple of witnesses. There's 2 guys they indicted, Matthew Mortoma and Michael Steinberg. Matthew Mortoma, former portfolio manager, Steinberg, a current portfolio manager, both indicted in insider trading. They would love them to turn evidence against them.
They would, and they haven't. And isn't that interesting? And what does it tell you? That they put all these pressure on these 2 guys who could go to jail for a very long time and would no doubt.
Decades.
Right. And wouldn't you think that if they could implicate someone higher up the food chain that they would do that? They're under so much pressure, and they haven't.
Either they will implicate somebody higher up the food chain to save their own necks, or there's no there there.
And
what the Justice Department is trying to get them to do, they can't do.
Listen, we're reading the tea leaves here. We're not in the room. It's I could tell you when I talk to Justice Department officials, they say, "Well, you guys in the press, you get half the stuff wrong." It's tough when you're outside. But I just would say this: the grand jury thing was kind of smarmy because, they knew that Steve Cohen, if they gave him a grand jury subpoena, was never going to testify. So guess what they do? They leak it. And they leak it right at that time. By the way, if you get a grand jury subpoena, generally, and the judge would know this, you're not generally the target of the probe. So you're leaking a thing against a guy who's not a target.
We got to go. Thanks to both of you for coming on. Interesting to follow this one
always
for sure.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Judge.